Hi everyone, welcome back to Mr.Techie Talks. I am Surendra. Today we are going to dive into mount between ADLS and Databricks. So before we get started, if you are new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you can never miss any of our new classes. So if you find today's session helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow and reach more people like you. So, all right, let's jump into today's class. So today's class is like mounting between Azure Data Lake and Databricks. So first we have some topics that I want to cover here. So first one is mounting process with diagram. So first I will show you the architecture. So how we are going to mount between Azure Data Lake and Databricks. So I will explain each and every services that we are going to choose now. So we have a blob container. We have how to set up the mount point between Azure Databricks and Azure ADLS, and I want to show you Active Directory as well. So once you see the architecture, so that you can understand what are the uses of each service that I want to show you. So let me open the architecture first. So in this architecture, actually this is storage account. This is ADLS storage accounts. In ADLS, we can create number of accounts that we want. So this is storage account 1. This is storage account 2. This is storage account 2. Each storage account, we can create number of blob containers that we want. I can create 20. I can create 30. The blob containers that I want, I can create. Each account can contain one or more blob containers. So ADLS service, we can create number of storage accounts. In each storage account, we can create number of blob containers. So this is a service which is provided by Azure. So coming to this one, this is Active Directory app registration. So there is a service called Active Directory. I will go through one by one. So next is Databricks. Next is Databricks. So in this Databricks, we can create number of workspaces that we want. So we can create n number of workspaces that we want. So this is workspace 1, this is workspace 2. If you want more workspaces, you can create number of workspaces that you want. Each workspace, we can create clusters. We can create clusters. I want to process some Spark job. I need cluster. Without cluster, we cannot execute the job because I need some RAM. I need some virtual cores to process the data. I need some storage to process the data. So that's why we need to create cluster. Each workspace contain number of clusters that we want. We can create. So today I'm going to cover everything about storage, ADLS, Active Directory, and Azure Databricks. So, so the use case here is as a big data engineer, by using Databricks, I want to process huge data, terabytes of data, petabytes of data. I want to process huge data. So, but this platform is used to process the data. But here we cannot store huge data. We cannot store huge data. Usually, where do we store huge data? In our laptop, where do we store the data? In hard disk. In Azure, where do we store huge data? In blob containers. In AWS, where do we store the data? In S3 location. In S3 location. Each service will provide some storage service. In AWS, we use S3. Here we use ADLS. In this ADLS service, we store huge data. We store huge data. It is used to store structured data, unstructured data, and semi-structured data as well. Like we can store videos, audios, text files, Parquet files, JSON files, any files that we want to store, we can store. We can store PDFs as well. We can store media content. Any files that we want to store, we can store in ADLS. I have a Parquet files. I have a 10 GB Parquet files here. I want to process these Parquet files. How do I process? I need to take help from Databricks. I need to take help from Databricks. I need to create workspace. I need to create cluster. Then by creating notebooks, in that notebooks, we write PySpark code to process the data. But there is no access. There is no direct access. If I want to create access, what should I do? I need to set mount. I need to set mount point between these two services. Once mount point setup is done, what we can do is we can access these files. We can access these files into this workspace. There, the code that we have written here using that PySpark code, we apply transformations, output data. Again, we can store here. Again, we can store into this container. If I want to access these files, we need to set up mount point by taking help from Active Directory. So there is a Active Directory app registration by taking help from AD app registration. So first I will go through one by one. So first I want to talk about blob container. Blob container. So Azure data blob container, like it is a commonly referred to as Azure data blob. So like it is a scalable and it is cloud-based object storage service which is provided by Microsoft Azure. So it is designed to store large amount of unstructured data such as text files and binary files as well. We have some key features as well in blob container, like it will provide like scalability, security, access files, like integration, management. Those key features we have, and we have some use cases where we use these blob containers. Like those are we can take backups and restore. So if I want to do big data analysis, we keep the data in blob containers and we get the files. Suppose there is a content storage delivery, like we can store media files, we can store documents as well. So we can create data lake environments, like we can create data lakes to store and analyze vast amount of structured data and unstructured data as well. So coming to the mount. So what are the advantages of creating the mount? Actually, mounting ADLS to Databricks provides several advantages, like enhancing data processing, management, and overall workflow efficiency as well. So here also we have, by creating mount point, we have some key features like seamless data access, like mounting ADLS in Databricks that allows user to access and interact with data stored in ADLS through the Databricks file system. So we have another key feature as well, like scalability and performance as well. So and it provides security and access control as well. So like that we have some key features we have. So coming to AD app registration. So AD means Active Directory. Active Directory. So AD app registration is the process that allows us to create configuration and identity of your application in Azure Directory. It enables secure communication and authentication. Secure communication and authentication between these two. It is it enables secure communication and authentication. So I will go to practical session first. Let me open Azure portal. Let me open this one. sign in. So just now I logged in this Azure portal. So similar way, I will log in as well. So here I logged in PowerShell as well. So I want to communicate with Databricks. I want to communicate with Databricks as well using PowerShell. So in previous classes, I just explained how to create resource groups, how to create resource groups, how to create Databricks, how to create Databricks, and how to create storage accounts. In previous classes, I have explained how to create these three using Azure portal. In previous in second class, I have explained how to use command line interface, how to create resource groups, how to create Databricks, how to create storage accounts, and how to create resource group. In today's class, I will show you how to create Azure Databricks as well. So very first, if I want to use Azure Databricks using PowerShell in CLI commands, first, if the software is not installed, we should install. So the command is if I want to install Databricks. So if install Databricks hyphen CLI. Software is installed. So software is installed. I want to check the version. So just mention Databricks hyphen V. So the version 0.18.4 is installed. So now I want to configure to PowerShell. So just software is installed here, but there is no connection between this Databricks to this one. So what I have to do is very first I have to create Azure Databricks in Azure portal. Then we need to create tokens. By using the token, we need to configure here. By creating Azure Databricks, there we get the Azure token. By using the token, we can configure to communicate with Azure Databricks. So what I have to do is, I have to click on Databricks. If it is not appearing, what I have to do is, I have to mention Azure Databricks. I have to mention Azure Databricks so that it will come. Click on that one. Next, if I want to create Databricks, just click on create. Click on create. Resource group. I want to mention my resource group. I want to mention my resource group. I want to mention my resource group. When I mention anything here, right, I want to take as backup. I want to take that name, my resource group. So here, my talks demo, Mr.Techie talks Mr. TikTok's demo. Okay. So here I want to choose East US. You can choose any location that you want. So by default, I have chosen East US. So price tier. So here we have three options. Out of three options, I don't want to go with premium. So unnecessarily they will charge more. So I want to choose only standard one because we are learning. So I want to choose standard. So click on networking. Click on encryption. Here no need to do any options. So just no is fine. Just click on encryption. So here no need to click on anything. Just click on security and compliance. Next click on tags. Next click on review plus create. It is being validated. It is being validated. Once validation is completed, just click on create. So you can see that this validation is succeeded. So just click on create. So the group name is my resource group. Thus the workspace name is resource group name is my resource group. Workspace name is Mr.Techie Talks demo. Workspace name is Mr.Techie Talks demo. So again, you can go to Azure Databricks. So still it is being created. So it will take a few minutes. So just click on the workspace that I have created. In this Databricks, we can create number of workspaces that we want. Once workspace is created, it will appear another option, that is launch workspace. So here I mentioned, so in this Databricks service, number of workspaces that we want. So far, I have created only workspace. It is being created now. It is being created now. Inside workspace, we can create number of clusters that we want. So here workspace is being created. Workspace is being created. If I want to create new workspace, just click and do the steps what I have done so far. So go back. So it is saying launch workspace. So if I want to set the configuration between PowerShell and this account, this Databricks account, what I have to do is I have to create token. I have to create new token. If I want to create new token, what I have to do is I have to go to settings. I have to go to settings. Setting option is available here. Click on setting. Click on setting. Currently where I am? So it is under profile. Profile. I want to click on preferences. So there is no option here. Click on developer. So in this developer, here we can see the access tokens. So it is saying set up secure authentication to Databricks API using tokens. By using tokens, I want to communicate this Databricks service using PowerShell, using this PowerShell. Once I get the token, by entering this one, I can communicate with this Databricks. Manage. So click on new token. So just give the comment. Just give the comment. Mr.Techie Talks demo. Lifetime is 90. Keep it default one. No need to do anything here. Just generate. So before click the done, we need to copy this one because this key will be used. I want to keep the token as well as we need to copy this one. So there is a folder path. Just we need to copy this one. Just we need to copy this one. This is our profile name. Sorry, this is our post name. We need to copy this one. We need to copy this one. Just I have copied this one and I have copied token. So after that, what we have to do is we have to go to PowerShell and we need to configure. We need to configure. So there is a command Databricks configure hyphen token hyphen profile hyphen profile Mr. Techie Talks profile. Then click on enter. It will ask us to provide HTTP name. So just we need to give host name. Copy the host name and paste it here. So as well as we need to provide token, the token which we have copied. So now we have pasted the token and click the enter. So I want to check whether we are able to check the services or not, Databricks or not. Databricks FSLS hyphen profile, the profile that we have created. Now we can see the volumes in the Databricks that we have. So connection is established between PowerShell and Databricks. So next thing is configuration is done in PowerShell. Next thing is we need to set up configuration. We need to set up configuration for AD app registration. What we have to do is we have to go to Active Directory and set the configuration there. So I want to go to configuration. I will go to Azure portal. Just in search I will check Active Directory. So here you can click on this one. Here you can create Active Directory. So just click on plus add. So there is a app registration. Click on this app registration. So here the name is, you can mention Azure Active Directory. Just you can mention our specific name. Azure Databricks Mount Demo 1. Just to register. Uh, so just now we have created ADLS Databricks Mount Demo 1. So inside that we need to take few configurations, few IDs. One is client ID or application ID. So we need to just copy, we keep it in our notepad. Client ID or application ID. And we need to take directory or tenant ID. We need to take tenant ID. So here we can see this should be copied and pasted in notepad plus plus. Next, we need to get the client secret value. Where I need to get the secret value? Go to certificates and secrets. inside certificates and secrets, we need to create new client secret because I don't have any so far. So I want to create new one. Click on new client secret. So in description, just you need to give ADLS Databricks Mount Demo 1 description. So you can keep it default one. Recommended is 180 days, that is 6 months. You can keep it default one. Just click on add. So the value is client secret value. The value is client secret value. I want to copy this client secret value. I will keep it in Notepad++ because these configuration will be used to create mount point. So that's why I keep it in Notepad++. Whenever I need, I will take it from here. I will paste whenever is required. So I have copied all required information here, and so what I have to do is I want to create Databricks secret for Azure Directory application. I want to create Databricks secret for AD app registration. So by using CLI commands, I will do that. So how to do that? I will show you. Databricks secrets create scope hyphen scope. So here what I have to mention is we need to create one scope name, Mr. Techie Talks Demo Scope 1. Demo Scope 1. Scope name also I want to take backup. Scope name and hyphen profile. I want to take backup as profile, Mr. Techie Talks profile. Mr. Techie Talks profile. I haven't taken, but this is the profile that I have created. So here you can see Mr. Techie Talks profile. So actually you might get some confused. You will learn actually. So next hyphen initial manage principal. So here in double quotes you mention users. So secret scope is created here. By using this secret scope, you can create. You need to paste the key that we have created in Azure Active Directory. So in Active Directory, we have created some secret, right? So this secret, we need to keep it in Databricks because we need to set the access between Azure Directory and Azure Databricks. So what I have to do is in Databricks secrets put hyphen scope. So the scope name we need to mention which we have created. Scope name hyphen key. I want to create one key. In this key, if we create this key, in this key, what we have to do is we need to keep this secret value in this key. So Mr. Techie Talks key 1. In this key, what we have to do is we need to put the key that we have hyphen profile. The profile name is this one. So one file is created. One file is created. So in this file, we need to copy this secret value. This file, we need to copy this secret value. Paste, file, save and close. File, save and close. Yeah, this is the way we do keep the secret value in this key. So the next thing is create Azure Data Lake storage. We need to create Azure Data Lake storage so that we can communicate with Azure Data Blobs. First I want to create Azure Data Blobs. So this communication is done actually. This communication is done. So I want to create one storage account. After that, I want to create one blob container. I will keep sample data and I will try to access. First, I want to create one storage account. Usually, how do I create? In previous classes, I already told you using PowerShell. AZ storage. I have created one resource group, that is my resource group. I want to check that one whether it is created or not. Group list, yeah, this resource group is created by me. So in this resource group I want to create storage account. How do I create storage account? Az storage account create hyphen name, storage account name. Mr.Techie talks account 1 hyphen g. We need to give specific resource group name. I have given here. I want to choose the location. The location is East US and we need to give SKU. So I am clicking enter. So account is being created in storage account name. Inside storage account, I want to create blob container as well. Once it is created, I will create blob container as well. So storage account is created. If I want to check the storage account, so how do I check? Agent storage account hyphen list hyphen query name under resource group, my resource group. So storage account is created. So what I want to do is next, I want to assign IAM role on standard account to Azure AD applications. So just 5 minutes before I have set up the connection between, just 5 minutes before, just I have the setup connection between AP add registration and Databricks. Between these two, I have done the setup. So using CLI commands, I have just showed you how to create the scope between AD and Databricks. Now I want to do setup between these two. These two is completed. Now I want to do setup between these two. Storage account and active directory. This storage account and active directory. I want to set the communication. So what I have to do is we need to go to Azure portal. Need to go to Azure portal. So check on storage account that we have created. Storage accounts. Storage accounts. So in storage accounts, I have created this storage account. So click on this one. Under this storage account, what I have to do is under the storage account, I need to go for access control. Access control. In this access control, what I have to do is if I want to create new one, we need to click on add. We need to click on add role assignment. So here we need to search. Searching is bit important here because we need to choose our respective one. So storage block data contributor. We need to select this one. Need to select this one and click on next. Next, it will go to members. In members, we need to select members. We need to add active directory one. So in active directory ADLS, so we have created mountpoint. So this is the active directory one, ADLS mountpoint. Just I have clicked and I have selected this one. So next click on next, next, review plus assign. So it is also done. Just it is also done. Connection is established between this Azure storage account, app directory and app directory to Databricks. What I have to do is I have to create container. I have to create container inside the storage account and I need to keep some sample files and I will create notebook and I will access the files from here to here. First I will create container. I will create container using PowerShell. I will create container. How do I need to create container? Agent storage create hyphen container name, blob container name. Blob container name I want to give as data. I want to give as data. Here you can give any name that you want. Here you can give the name that you want. Container name. So just I have given only data. So in which account name? What is the storage account that I have created? This is my storage account that I have created. In this storage account, I want to create container. I want to create container. Just execute this one. We need to mention file system. So just we need to cross verify whether it is created or not. Azure storage fs list hyphen account name. Account name Mr.Techie talks hyphen query. So now the container is created. Now the container is created. So in portal also you can check whether the container is created or not. If I want to check the container, what we have to do is very first we have to go to storage account. Inside storage account, you can go to containers. Inside container, I have created one blob container that is data. Inside data, there is no files. There is no files. What I will do is I will create one file here. I will upload one file here and I will try to access this file from Databricks. First, I will give sample file. I will give one sample file. I'm going to upload sample file. So file is uploaded now under data blob, under data blob. So this is container. So this is account name. This is container name. This is container name, data container. Now you can go to what is the container name? Data. So just keep all information here because we need to set up the mount directly. So the next step is I want to create the cluster. I want to create the cluster. Since I have already created workspace, I am already in workspace in Databricks. So how to go to Databricks? Databricks, click here. So click on workspace, launch workspace. I have launched the workspace. So what I have to do is very first I have to create cluster because I have to create cluster. Without creating cluster, we cannot process the data. Cluster is required to process the data. So create compute. Go to compute and click on create compute. Inside that I want to choose single node cluster because practice purpose only we are doing this one. 15 minutes. Create compute. It might take 4 to 5 minutes. It might take 4 to 5 minutes. So for practice purpose, I have chosen only single node and I have chosen only minimum node type. Minimum node type. This node type has 14 GB memory and 4 cores. This is the minimal cluster that I want to choose. So it has taken Spark latest version. So as well as we can create number of notebooks that we want. We can create the libraries. Like I want to, if I want to use pandas, right? So you can choose the library. If I want to use PySFTP server, suppose I want to communicate with Databricks, we need to use some library called Redshift connector. I want to get the files from SFTP server to here. I can use PySFTP. Else we can use Paramiko. So I can create NumPy, I can create pandas, any library that you want, you can create here. So, so later I will show you once get into the topic. So I will show you just these things are configuration so far. So once configuration is done, so next class onwards, I will show you the code. So the cluster is being created. So meanwhile, I want to create notebook. Meanwhile, I want to create notebook. Meanwhile, I want to create notebook. Meanwhile, I want to create notebook ADLS demo mount ADLS demo. So I have some code here. I have some piece of code here. By using that, I will set mount point. I will divide this code into multiple commands so that you can understand easily. So far, I have captured. So it is being created. Meanwhile, I will explain. The cluster is being created still. By using this cluster, I can execute these commands. So meanwhile, I have captured the mount point configuration. So what kind of information that we want. So client ID, tenant ID, client secret, storage account name, and container name. This information I have captured in notebook. This information I have captured in notebook. First, I want to take client ID. First, I want to take client ID. I want to take client ID. Next, tenant ID I need to take. I need to copy from here. I need to paste it in this notebook. Next, client secret value. The value that we have generated in AD, we need to copy this one and we need to paste it here. Storage account name. So we have created storage account, right? That name also we need to take it because we need to set up mount to that particular storage account. In the storage account, we have a container. If you want to connect the particular container, we need to mention the container name as well. What is the container name here? Blob container name data. So cluster is created here. Cluster is created and I have pasted our configurations. These credentials cannot be used in your mission because these are related to my username and password. These IDs are belongs to mine. So you cannot use this one. If you want to use this one, you have to set up the way which I have created. Like we need to create AD as Active Directory, we need to create Databricks, we need to create storage accounts so that you will get this information. These credentials will not work for you, these IDs. So just I am clicking on this variables. It is done. So we need to give the configuration. So we have 5 configurations here. So here we are taking client ID and client secret as well as tenant ID. These three we get it from AD, Active Directory. Just click on this one. Next, here we are set up the mount point between Azure Data Lake and Databricks. So by using this three things like source, what is the path of that? What is the path of that? So here I want to communicate with specific container. What is the container name here? Data. What is the storage account name? Mr.Techie Talks account 1. So we need to set up the path. So what is the mount path that I want to choose? Mount data. So here any name that you want you can choose. Just I mentioned data only. So extra configurations where I got from here. These configurations from AD, Active Directory. Here we give data lake storage, Azure data lake storage. Just I will click on mount. So it is telling true. It is telling that means mount point has been created. Mount has been created by using this mount point. By using this mount point, we need to check whether we are able to connect to Azure Data Lake service or not. How do we check? fs ls/mnt/data. It will able to communicate with Azure Data Lake service. It will able to communicate with Data Lake service. So in Data Lake service, what we have done? We have upload one input file. So it is trying to fetch the data from this data blob. Data blob is data. Container name is data. Storage account is Mr.Techie Talks account 1. So instead of giving everything, every configuration, any path directly, it has connected. So this file is uploaded by me in Azure Data Blob. So here we can see entire path dbfs/mount/data/input.csv. So I want to communicate by using PySpark because As a big data engineer, we need to fetch huge amount of data and we need to process using Spark. Using Spark, we need to communicate with Azure Data Lake Service files and fetch the data, and we need to apply transformations based on our client requirement. We need to apply transformations or based on our client requirement. I need to write the data back into Azure Data Lake Service only. We can write in any services, but we can write in Azure Data Lake. We can store in S3, we can store in Azure Data Lake, we can store in any storage service. So first I am validating whether I am able to fetch the data using this mount point or not. I want to create some sample data frame, spark.read.csv /mnt /data /input.csv. There is a file, header true. So I am able to fetch the data from Azure Data Lake Service. Usually this is the way we need to set up mount point. This is the way we need to set up mount point. If I want to set up mount point, so these all services are required. We need to create storage account, we need to create container, we need to create Active Directory, and we need to create cluster, we need to create workspace as well. After creating, we need to set up this connection between these two. Next, these two. Finally, we need to set up mount. We need to set up mount using notebooks. Using notebooks. Mount is done. I want to unmount. I want to unmount. Now I want to unmount. How do I do? dbutils.fs.mount. What is the mount point here? /mnt /data is a mount point. Just I will click on this. I am unmounting. I am releasing mount point. This path has been unmounted. Again, I want to check whether really it really unmounted or not. So what I will do is %fs ls /mnt /data. No such file directory because it is already unmounted. It is already unmounted. So this is the way usually we do mount between ADLS and Databricks. So this is the way we do unmount. So the topic is covered what I wanted to know. I wanted to tell you. So before wind up the session, what I will do is just remember the things. You need to close all the services that you are using. So if you keep the sessions already, so just delete them. So if you don't delete them, they will charge. You have to bear actually. So very first we have some free time. We have some free time. So whenever you want to do some practice, you can use that. So after practice is done, so immediately you can uh, delete those services that you have used. So first what I have to do is I want to stop the cluster. I want to stop the cluster because I already up this cluster. I will stop the cluster. We have multiple ways to stop the cluster. One of the way is select this cluster, go here, terminate. Go here, terminate. Another option is you can go to compute. Instead of here, you can go to compute. You can go to compute and I can delete or terminate. If you delete na, it will terminate as well as it will delete both. So cluster is deleted. So what you have to do is next you have to delete the resource group. If you delete resource group, workspace also will be deleted. Container also will be deleted. So If we delete workspace, resource group, if we delete resource group, workspace and container, storage account, everything will be deleted. I will show you AZ group list query. You can see the resource group. So here I want to delete resource group. Click on Y. Resource group is being deleted now. Let me open the resource group. It is still being deleted. We have Databricks, we have storage account. Those are being deleted. So here we can see storage account has been deleted. Databricks might be deleting. So make sure before you logged out, you need to delete all resource group and respective services that you used. Otherwise, you will be charged unnecessarily. So just remember those things. So resource group has been deleted now. So if you go here, uh, if you go to resource group, So resource group is created, which we have created. That is my resource group. It is deleted already. So just I want to check whether Databricks workspace is already there or not. So let me open. So no workspace is available now. If I delete any resource group, all respective services will be deleted with that resource group name. So now we can log off. We can log off now. Okay, we can wind up the session. So thanks for watching. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you can get notified whenever I upload new videos. And we have got a lot of exciting content coming up and that you want to miss. So join the Mr. Techie Talks community and let's continue learning together and see you in the next video. Thank you.